Welcome to Sparkle Heart Magic Force Go! The internet, I like to say the internet's premier actual play of Thirsty Sword Lesbians. It's not true. There are other ongoing streams of Thirsty Sword Lesbians, but I like to think that we are the best, and we're the best because of my players. So before I say anything else, I'm going to let them introduce themselves. Why don't we start with Jess?
Hi there, I'm Jess. My pronouns are she, her. I will be playing Cherry, everyone's favorite scoundrel, the pink Sparkle Guardian, um, who has been consistently having a really bad time. And I'm sure that's just gonna things are just gonna get worse. I'm excited, so
Uh,
let's
oh,
see.
and this episode of the anime that we're playing through, Sparkle Heart Magic Force Go, the intro sequence, the opening credits, is a different sequence this time. It is a series of memories of Reader Partizan. So, Jess, can you please tell us something about Cherry and a moment between Cherry and Reader Partisan in the past that we see?
A moment between Cherry and Reader Partisan. We see young Cherry in her 1950s poodle skirt-esque magical girl outfit. And we see Reader Partisan in his very cool white suit that looks like it has words written all over it, and his cape that looks like it's made of pages. Um, and it's in an anime opening-esque moment. They get very close to each other, and Reader offers her a black rose, kind of cocking an eyebrow, and she stands for a second and then pushes it into his face, right into his mouth, and just the next cut is him like coughing up petals.
That's brilliant and echoes one of my favorite episodes of Revolutionary Girl Utena. Where am I going to go? Let's go this way. Juicy.
Oh,
Why don't you please introduce yourself and give us a moment about your character and Reader Partisan?
yes. Hi, I'm Juicy Garland, Boston area drag queen and super nerd, and head of PR for Tabletop Tailspinners, a network focused on, oh my gosh, I'm brain farting on words, just fell out my brain. Good TTRPG actual plays is what I'm gonna say. Anyways, I am playing Sunbeam, our solar guardian, and she is just a mess of control issues. And her partisan memory is one where she was obsessed with trying to figure out who he was behind the mask. And we get cuts of her like staring at him with binoculars in the distance from the bushes. And then she's like leaning in closely when they're interacting, squinting at him kind of meanly. And then she's digging through a library and just she's exhausted and her hair is crazy and she never figures it out.
I have this image of her like peering around a cactus and then like leaning too far forward and getting stung and
And
freaking
she,
out.
yes, and she makes a noise and he looks and she holds her arms up like the cactus.
Yes,
Died.
perfect. So will you introduce yourself, your character, and give us a moment about Adrianne and Reader Partisan?
Hi, I'm Solstice. I use all the pronouns. I'm playing Adrian, who uses they, she, and is the fallen. Um, one memory of their past interactions with Reader Partisan, I think Reader Partisan was like their first boyfriend. So just that whole like them being like so doe-eyed and like holding hands with him and like looking up at him, things like that.
I love it. But you're always in, both of you are always in your magical outfits.
Yeah, of
So
course, of
you're
course.
like toga like skirt situation,
Mm-hmm.
gazing up at
Or like
this man.
orange, yellow toga.
Yes, exactly. I love it. Cam.
Hello, hello. I'm Cameron, he, him. You can find me anywhere on the internet at Streaming Rainbow or The Streaming Rainbow. We do some fun TTRPGs stuff. I play Tallahassee Stirrup. She, her pronouns. She is our troubadour of the group. And her Reader Partisan memory, I think it would actually just be like a montage of like moving pictures in succession of her tripping Reader Partisan or pushing him off of big things or like dunking him into water or just embarrassing him outright, just like flash, 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 and just like a backtrack of him screaming. So that's probably her favorite memory.
I love that. Just completely underscoring that Tallahassee really is just a country music listening frat boy at
Yup.
heart, only as a thirsty sword lesbian. And now, last but certainly not least, the woman who broke everyone's hearts wide open last week, Eve. Please introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Eve, she, her, and I am playing Belladonna Sawyer, aka Sawyer, aka Ice Wolf Striker, because she is no longer a guardian. And I think our little flashback for her is like you see Reader Partisan. You can tell he's like gloating because he's like, I'm victorious in this scheme. There's nothing anybody could do to stop me. And then just out of nowhere, Song Guardian just full on flying football tackles him through a window.
I love that. That's so perfect. And then, like, lands and looks up at Sparkle Guardian to see what to do next.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Am I killing him?
right. Like, how much pressure do I use? A surprisingly small amount? Uh, Hello, everybody. I have 19 names. I will give a different one every time. One of my names is Gandalfina Facenheart. That's like Gandalf, but feminine and small. I use 3 different sets of pronouns. You'll hear a different one every time. One of them is fey, femme, fear, fierce. And I am your gay mistress. Mixtrix. I'm not actually sure which form of that I like just yet. I will play everybody else in the world. So, easy jobs. I try to keep up with my players as they get lost in interpersonal drama. It's awesome. And the last bit of the opening sequence that we end on as the credits finish and the J-pop theme song reaches its crescendo as it always does is Reader Partizan uh, grabbing, like sneaking up behind Aura, behind the end of all things, and somehow like swiping his hand through her body, and it shrinks and forms a diamond ring around his finger. And as off in the distance, we see Sparkleheart Magic Force defeating a T-Rex. Before we get into it tonight, we have welcome Scuzz to Buckets and your excited goblin noises. I like your name, and what's your first time in chat? Before we get into it, this is intended to be an intense game, and we have had extensive conversations around bravery, consent, and safety. We've actually had 3 session zeros to establish that. But none of you, as audience members, were present of those, for which I apologize. I will work on my impossible technology. So we are offering content warning. This is a non-exhaustive list because role-playing is by its nature an improvisational medium, and we cannot always predict what will come up. But this is a series of things we think might. And if you need to keep yourself safe from these, please do what you need to do to keep yourself safe from them. If you need any sort of support to be brave enough to hear us play through them, please get that support. Everyone needs a crutch sometimes, and just as a reminder, the term crutch means basically the opposite of what able-bodied people use it to mean. So content warnings for this episode could include physical violence, displays of anger, yelling, childhood trauma, amnesia, friendship trauma, permanent character death, some gore, physical violence, toxic relationships, and as we did last week, allusions to the effects of transphobia on trans women. Now, transphobia will be shown, I expect. I could be wrong, but we have alluded to the effects that has had on our trans character. On a happier note, if you earn channel points as you watch, and you can spend those channel points in some ways unique to this show. You can purchase indulgent outfit descriptions or transformations, cute critter companion cameos, individual flashbacks, or even whole group flashbacks. Had a lot of fun with those before. And if you purchase a tarot card pull, which will cause me to pull a tarot card and then dance around trying to interpret it for the game, I will be pulling from this deck of Sailor Moon tarot cards. I hope it's showing up. I'm on delay. That you can purchase from Kaio's Clubhouse on what's that, Etsy. So I will do the command in chat so that you can get a link there if you are interested. I spelled that wrong, in the Sailor Moon tarot. Oh gods, I see people already redeeming things. Okay, we got 2 group flashbacks, including one from my date friend, and a tarot card already. That's just awesome. Before I do the tarot card pull, I will read you my introductory text, as I always have. Rumors haunted the original Sparkle Heart Magic Force anime throughout its run that Jikanno Hoi had plans to create a spin-off series about Reader Partizan. Although this frenemy of the team only appeared in a handful of episodes each season, he certainly made an impact on the fans of the show, no doubt because so much of his story seemed to happen off-screen and was never really explained. The fact that neither the audience nor the Sparkle Heart Magic Force knew whether he was going to save their butts or attack them ruthlessly certainly helped. During his occasional bouts of villainy, Reader Partizan always served as a minion or supporter of a truer villain in an episode, whether that be the season's big bad or just the monster of the week. Well, there was one exception. The season 4 episode entitled Money is parentheses now end parentheses no space here value isn't featured Reader Partizan driving the plot as he animated monsters out of the Sparkle Heart Magic Force's history books to attack them. Whenever a guardian struck a blow against these monsters, their sword was quickly ripped from their hands as it became stuck in the monster's flesh. Adrianne's encyclopedic knowledge of and resultant ability to empathize with the various historical figures started to loosen their blades, but it was when Sunny connected the lives of the historical figures with the present-day experiences of the team that the Guardians were able to reclaim their weapon. At that point, Sparkle Heart Magic Force combined their powers to unleash an attack never seen in any other episode. Plastic Eternity Profit Reversal, called PEPR, or PEPR, on the Sunlit Garden. Although many fans simply assumed that Reader Partizan's name, or at least the second word of it, was derived from the polearm, which served a similar role for him that the Guardian swords did for them. I wrote that as a fragment, I apologize. During a Learn New Trivia About Your Favorite Shows panel at one convention, a fan asked Jikanno why they had decided to give Reader Partizan such a different weapon from those wielded by Sparkle Heart Magic Force, a question which sparked a mischievous glint in Jikanno's overeducated eye. The director said, "Oh, that's not trivia. It's a pun like a quadrivia, at least," referencing 2 Latin words for crossroads, one meaning specifically a 3-way crossroads, and one meaning a 4-way crossroad. I told you Jikanno was overeducated. And now, while I draw the card that was purchased by Baba Yaga, our troll of a producer, I think Eve will give us the recap of last episode.
Yeah, certainly. I was going in the park and I was just like walking in, thinking about everything. But then again, I was thinking about nothing. And then Cherry came in. I didn't even know she was there. She called my name and I didn't hear her. And then she started screaming, "Sawyer, Sawyer." And I go, "What? What's the matter?" She goes, "What's the matter with you?" I go, "There's nothing wrong, Cherry." She goes, "Don't tell me that. You stole my sword." I go, "No, Cherry, I didn't steal it. I'm okay. I'm just borrowing it, you know? Why don't you give me back the sword?" And she goes, "No, you're a dog." And I go, Cherry, I'm okay. I'm just borrowing it. And she goes, no, you're not borrowing it. You're a dog. Normal people don't act that way. I go, Cherry, just give me the sword, please. All I want's a sword. And she wouldn't give it to me. All I wanted was a sword, just one sword. And she wouldn't give it to me. Just a sword. I'm not crazy. You're the one that's crazy. You're driving me crazy. So, anyways, I'm standing in front of the swords, and Cherry and Sunbeam came in. They put their fist, they put up their fist and stand their ground. They go, Sawyer, we need to talk to you. And I go, okay, you really want to do this? Sunbeam goes, me and Cherry, we've been noticing you've been having a lot of problems. You've been going off for no reason, and we're afraid you're going to hurt somebody. We're afraid you're going to hurt yourself. So we decided that it would be in your best interest if we got our swords back and kicked your ass. And I go, wait, what are you talking about? We decided my best interest. How do you know what my best interest is? How can you say what my best interest is? What are you trying to say? I'm crazy? When I joined your team, I followed your orders, I killed the things you wanted me to kill? So how can you say I'm crazy? I grabbed Cherry by the brain to show her my suffering and pain. By the time I fix her head, mentally I'll be dead. Because I'm not crazy. You're the one that's crazy. You're driving me crazy. It's just like sometimes I try to do things and it just doesn't work out the way I want it to. I get real frustrated and like I try hard to do it. And I like take my time, but it just doesn't work out the way I want it to. It's like I concentrate on it real hard, but it just doesn't work out. And everything I do and everything I try, it never turns out. It's like I need time to figure these things out. But there's always Sunbeam there going, hey Sawyer, I've been noticing you've been having a lot of problems lately, You should maybe go away and like maybe you should talk about it. You'll feel a lot better. And I go, no, it's okay, I'll figure it out. Just leave me alone. I'll figure it out. I'm just working on myself. And she goes, well, if you want to talk about it, I'll be here, and you'll probably feel a lot better if you talk about it. So why don't you talk about it? And I go, no, I don't want to. Okay. I'll figure it out myself. And she keeps bugging me. She just keeps bugging me and builds up inside because I'm not crazy. You're the one that's crazy. You're driving me crazy. It doesn't matter. I'll probably get killed by the blurry face anyways.
Eve, I adore you.
I think I'm gonna make it canon that what was said in the team chat, that this is 100% a voicemail that Sawyer leaves Inertia, her girlfriend in her band, somehow magically between scenes. That was so good. The card I pulled, which I have to figure out now how to interpret in the game, was the Queen of Wands, once again reversed, because this team can barely draw a tarot card that is upright. We're going to start with a flashback, however. This is a flashback requested by Juicy and paid for by Juicy with channel points. So please spend channel points. While you're spending channel points, I should say you should also subscribe, because we have a challenge where if we get up to 50 subscriptions, 29 subscribers, Baba Yaga, our producer, will get a Sparkle Heart Magic Force Go tattoo. So please subscribe. Please buy other people's subscriptions. Please buy me a subscription. I'm running a game and I'm not even subscribed. But we're going to open up with a flashback to a time, a much more innocent time, sometime during their high school years. It's a happy memory. So it's a time that you five spent together as children that was just purely sweet and joyful and connected, before all this yelling and sword stealing and becoming the embodiment of Ragnarok and stuff. What is that memory, y'all? What is a good memory? I'm leaving it up to the five of y'all to determine.
Fuck, I don't know.
I think we are all back to our normal selves after defeating a monster, and maybe we're at like an ice cream shop.
Yes. We
Getting
went to
like
like
ice
a
cream
little
sundaes and
diner or like a parlor or
yes,
something.
getting like
Yay,
sundaes
we're
and
getting
milkshake.
our violence rewarded.
Our violence is being rewarded with ice cream.
Yes, first the violence, then the sugar.
Exactly.
We did establish there is the 24-hour diner.
Love it.
Yeah.
In the 24-hour diner, eating ice cream after having convinced Song Guardian to stab a monster through the throat, because that's usually how these things ended. What is everyone drinking? I want to know what everyone ordered at the 24-hour ice cream shop. And while you're doing that, because we have a troll for a producer, give us an indulgent outfit description of you in your everyday clothes in 2000. What doing math? 2009 or so? 2009 to 2013. While you're eating ice cream after having defeated a monster. Does anybody
Okay.
want to start?
Yes. Okay. I think that Sunny has her hair pulled back, big round glasses, and she's got like purple spaghetti straps with like ruffles on them. And she's wearing like a knee-length pleated skirt, also in purple, and like black Mary Janes. And she's like tucked into the booth with her like strawberry malted milkshake that's like as tall as her head. Like she's leaning up to drink from the straw.
That's hilarious. I love that.
It's like in one of those like massive aluminum milkshake cups because it's a diner.
Yes, that would be perfect. Yeah.
I think Sawyer's there. Just a plain black skirt, a plain green T-shirt. And she's just got a bowl of vanilla bean.
Ooh, how basic.
She's dissociating. No, anyway.
Yep. No, that's exactly it. She just needs something simple.
Well, it's vanilla bean though. Like, okay, yeah. Personal frustration. What we call vanilla in the United States isn't vanilla; it's sweet cream. Well, vanilla bean or French vanilla actually has vanilla in it. We actually have.
Fancy.
It bothers me. Anyways,
Like
next person.
it's not like a very like intense flavor. I like vanilla bean.
Cherry is wearing they are actual vintage clothes, so it is like the cardigan with the little like pearl buttons and the quarter sleeves and like black capri pants. And it works though. Like she makes it work. It doesn't She looks cool. She doesn't look like she's wearing old clothes. And she is drinking a classic root beer float, but she does, when it is delivered, she very carefully takes the cherry off of the top of it and does reach over and she puts it into Sawyer's bowl of ice cream.
More
Oh.
rewards.
That's so sweet. Camersel?
Okay, I think Tallahassee is in like denim overalls, an oversized red bleach stained t-shirt, like like a sun stained kind of frayed and worn ball cap with like her braided ponytail like that goes down her back, all like tucked up and like washed hands like with a little bit of hand sanitizer, and they have three different ice cream things. One is a peppermint milkshake, peppermint ice cream, not chocolate mint, peppermint. Doesn't like the little bits of chocolate in there. And then one is like a full ass, like strawberry vanilla chocolate banana split sundae. And the other one isn't like just a normal like soft serve cone, just with like the cake cone, and it's half gone.
I love that. Of course, Tallahassee would just be eating everything. Saul, what about Adrian?
I think Adrian has like on a waffle cone 1 single scoop of chocolate ice cream, and it has rainbow sprinkles on top, and that's it. That's all. And Adrian is wearing a sort of like large hand-me-down sweater for Princeton University. It's orange, and some sort of like mid-thigh length jean shorts with a pair of worn combat boots and socks that peek up just above the combat boots, and that's it. It's not very
That's our
indulgent,
scene.
but she wears really simple
That was
clothes.
indulgent. That was perfect. That was great. And this is our scene. Y'all are sitting at the table. It seems like, is anyone talking, or is there a moment of silence that somebody has to break?
I am the whipped cream that was also touching the cherry. I'm also spooning that into Sawyer's bowl of ice cream.
I,
Thank you.
I think that Sunny is like wired from like the flash of adrenaline that was the fight we had, and she hasn't quite cooled down yet. So she's like, Sawyer, the way you got the monster was really cool. The way you stabbed it. Whoa.
Thank you.
That was very cool.
Just, trying to do my best.
And Adrian, good assist.
Oh, Adrian has like a little notebook where she's like writing things about what they were doing, and she goes, "Oh, thank you."
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
What
I know none of us would have remembered the right chemical to stop all that acid. I didn't.
and has anyone really figured out a pattern with the Eidolons? They seem to be
I think I'm
happening
starting to
faster.
piece one together,
Hmm?
but I think I'm starting to piece one together, but it doesn't make a lot of sense. So,
What are you thinking?
what am I thinking? Well,
Yeah.
I don't know. See, they seem to be kind of attacking all over town. There's not really one specific place they seem to be focused.
Hmm.
But and then I don't know. She makes some astute observation that I can't possibly make because I can't possibly keep track of these things.
You can just make it up. It's okay.
Oh gosh.
Maybe Tallahassee is like just sloppy fast eating a little bit of chocolate syrup, flies over and like taps your little map that you have, and it like lands in just the right spot, and you're like, oh my god, that's it.
Yes.
Thank you,
Oh my
Tallahassee.
god. Yes. There's a little like fleck of chocolate syrup, and she's like, "Oh, Tallahassee, that's such a good point."
What'd I say?
Tallahassee,
They're on the map. See?
you've shown they are in a pattern. It's almost
Well, yeah, I like it chocolate, strawberry, then vanilla, and then you have the bananas on the side like a boat. You got to eat it from one end to the other. You can't just mix it all together.
Yeah, you know,
That's it.
you go through that
Exactly.
so fast. We've been here for 2 minutes. It's almost all
I
gone.
know, look, you come from a household as big as mine. You eat what's in front of you. You eat it fast. Otherwise, you don't see it till the next morning.
Wow.
You've been in jail as long as I have.
Oh,
Damn.
hold on. And she's gonna reach down like under the table awkwardly and pull up a purple backpack. And then she's gonna unzip it. And she's gonna just pull it. Here's our homework for tomorrow. I know that we were busy, so of course you weren't gonna be able to do it in time. So I got it for you.
oh my gosh, Sunny.
I mean, Adrian
Oh,
is genuinely
it's
happy
all
about
blank.
Well, I had to go true to character for you, sweetheart. There are a couple answers in there. Only half of them are wrong.
this. It's
Look, if
okay,
I didn't think
Tallahassee.
to
I can
break
help
you in
you.
half, I'd punch you in the shoulder right now.
No, but we can always count on you, Sunny. putting my homework away.
Oh my god. She's just gonna glow at the praise.
Adrian is
Like the
"Thank you so
world
much,
stops for
Sunny."
her and everything like goes into slow motion and she's just like
You know, I think Tallahassee may actually be onto something. Because there is a pattern, but there's patterns within the pattern. So it is that it's strawberry, vanilla, chocolate. Strawberry, vanilla, chocolate. Because we've fought a beast, and then an idea, and then plant. Oh,
And then a
That's actually
planet?
a really good point.
plant. Do you remember?
Oh.
oh yeah, in the woods.
In the woods, oak trees, cactuses, the water lilies.
The desert woods.
The desert woods.
There's a park.
Wait, say that again.
So-
What are they?
The Eidolons, the forms they are taking, they are in a pattern, but they're alternating. So if we can figure this out, we might know what we're running into next.
Well,
And-
what was the last one that we fought?
Well, it was
It was 5 minutes ago.
totally 5 minutes ago, and we all totally remember that it was
We all
made of
totally-
ice from
Made of
the
ice. Is that
snow cone machine at the roller rink.
from the
They
snow
really
machine?
like the roller rink.
They do.
Yeah,
I
we've
wonder
been there like
why.
3 times.
Yeah.
Weird.
Is that a beast? If it's made of ice?
Well, that's
It's certainly not a
elemental.
plant.
I'm like leaning over to add notes to this.
Adrianne hates that. She's not saying anything, but she's like, "How dare you fucking touch my notebook?"
Oh, I don't notice. I
But
just
it-
add my little
Absolutely not.
notes.
It came from an ice machine. It wasn't like born, so it's probably the idea of cold. So plant
See?
would be next.
That's a good point.
All right.
So if we fought an idea, then the next one's a plant.
Plant. Beast idea.
Or
plant.
it's just random and there's a coincidental pattern.
Well, I guess we'll see. won't
Could
we?
be.
Wait. Can I see your map, Adrianne?
Of course.
And she's gonna take out a mechanical pencil from her shirt pocket. She's like a tiny shirt pocket. She's gonna draw on it too, and she's like, wait. If
Tiny
you
shirt
look,
pocket, tiny mechanical pencil.
if you look, if you go from when we fought them, they're all getting closer to the museum.
Oh, they are. They're
Huh.
spiraling inward.
Yeah, in a star shape.
A star spiral. That's
What,
so
Well-
sweet.
constellation?
Well, yeah, because it's 5, and then it's 4, and then it's 3. Yeah, like, and she'll draw circles right on the map.
Jesus Christ.
See?
I love how everyone is using let's do a happy memory to be let's fuck with Adrian.
We don't know how to be nice to each other.
Don't.
We
Adrian
haven't
is also
learned.
not saying anything about how
Hey,
much
hey,
he's
hey, hey.
upsetting her.
Everybody, let's just stop all the work chatter, okay? We just beat a living ice machine that is an idea of the embodiment of cold, apparently. And
Maybe brain freeze.
none of y'all's have touched your ice creams, and they're melting, okay?
There's
So
chocolate ice
why
cream
don't
dripping down Adrian's hand.
It's a milkshake.
milkshakes can melt and turn just into milk? And then guess what? You gotta shake it all up over again. So
Mhm.
before we get to shaking, let's enjoy the time we have together. And if we're gonna be fighting a plant next, let's learn about each other's strengths and weaknesses. Because I, for one, am allergic to poison ivy.
I didn't know that.
I think
Yeah,
everyone
get a
is.
bunch.
Well, it's a good thing that we live in the desert.
Everybody's allergic to poison ivy.
Yes, I think that's what
yeah,
the reaction to poison ivy is.
It does
I'm
get
Poison
allergic.
oak
everyone.
too.
It
Like,
doesn't
'cause I
make
get-
y'all itchy and give you a rash.
Yeah, that's
I've
where
not.
That's why it's called poison.
It's
It's
what
never
it
bothered
does.
me before.
Oh,
Maybe that's why I'm Solar Garden and Guardian and have nature magic. But I don't get itchy.
I just thought
I've
it was like the person who invented it.
I've never touched it.
Oh no, no one invented poison ivy. Tallahassee. It's not like
But,
a.
you know,
I mean,
Okay,
sure,
now this
maybe it
ain't school.
escaped.
Put away your homework and eat your ice cream.
Tallahassee's right. We did very good out there, and
Mm.
I'm very proud of all of us. To us, and I will cheers. And I know you don't all have drinks, but
Adrian kind of like awkwardly like cheers with the hand and then like starts looking for a napkin because her hand is covered in ice cream.
Belladonna just dinks her spoon.
That's nice.
And with that, I think we will end this good memory / memory of fucking with Adrianne. We have another flashback, and I've been going around and around in my head about what I want that flashback to be, but Midjupil's paid for one. Have we shown Cherry and Adrian's conversation about a year ago?
ooh, no.
Important question, Cherry. Was this before or after your accident?
This was after the accident. I think.
Saul, are you down to do this flashback?
I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember. I don't know what conversation you're talking about, but sure. There's
About
a few I can think of.
About a year ago, Cherry called and like had an awkward chat with Adrianne.
Ooh, okay, yes, that one. Yeah.
Are y'all down?
Yeah. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so it's late on a weeknight. And you've been in Cherry sends you postcards. Cherry sends you postcards, or she used to, from all of the places where she was doing filming and stunt work. So she was sending you stuff from like the Salt Flats and Hollywood and but your phone rings.
I think Adrian hasn't deleted your contact. Adrian still has your number saved. So it picks it up and sees that it's Cherry, and it's probably like an old picture of you. And then it's me like, oh my god, yes, Cherry. Oh, what's wrong?
Oh, hey, Adrian. Nothing's wrong.
Well, sorry, it's just, I mean, yeah, of course, why would anything be wrong? It's been a while since we called.
Oh, it has. Oh, time zone. It is late. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's fine. It's no worry. I mean, I picked up, didn't I?
You did. You did. Hey, I was just wondering, do you ever think back on our time, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was good, right?
Oh,
Right?
yeah, Cherry.
Well, it's been, I don't know, almost 10 years. Just feeling a little nostalgic, I guess.
Well,
But it was good.
it definitely wasn't bad. I mean, we were friends, right? We were close. We had each other.
Yeah, we had each other. And that's what made it good. Sometimes I just think we should all get together again, you know? We should have stayed together.
I mean, it could be nice to see everyone again. Sure, I bet everyone has changed a lot. I don't know. I mean, hey, you guys are the ones who left New Eden, right?
Oh, yeah. Had to get out of town. Maybe
Yeah.
I'll swing back through sometime soon.
Um,
Would you like that, Adrian?
um, um, sure. I mean, it would be nice to see you. It would be, yeah, it would be nice to see. I mean, any of them. It would be nice to see everybody. Yeah, you can, of course. Yeah,
It would be nice to see everybody.
yeah. Oh, I'm sure there's a lot to catch up on with everybody.
Oh, yeah. Everyone's so busy. Well, speaking of busy, I've kept you up. It's late.
Oh,
You take care, Adrian.
you too, Cherry. It was nice to talk.
It's nice to talk to you too.
And you hang up, and somebody paid for a tarot card, so I drew another tarot card, and it is shockingly reversed. It is the Knight of Swords reversed.
Ooh.
After you hang up, the screen goes dark for a moment as the dial tone echoes into the void that is stretching between the two of you. After so many years having passed since that day in the diner shop, ice cream shop. And then it opens up on a close up. So we had a cute critter cameo paid for, and a close up of Naughty, shell hole, no keys attached to the back of it. The little tentacles out front flailing in fear and anger. We see something behind it, but it's one of those things where the camera is stuck on Naughty, and so Naughty isn't moving in the frame, just everything behind Naughty. That, if you know what I mean. And we see somebody behind it doing something. It's hard to tell, and then the camera sort of pans out and releases Naughty, becomes an objective camera again, and we see Reader Partizan, a new ring on his finger, trying desperately to capture Naughty with his hands, just catch it Naughty out of the air as Naughty sobs and dives, and at one point gets a tentacle around the ring and starts pulling as hard as it can, squealing, Aura, Aura, Aura! And finally, Reader Partisan smacks Naughty away, and Naughty goes flying into the distance. We see Naughty skidding across 66 million BCE ground to bump up against Sparkle Guardian's boot. It fades to the camera cuts from there, smash cuts from there to a large body in a foggy amusement park with no face and no belly, just meaty holes where both of those things used to be for a fraction of a second. Smash cuts to an image um, of Belladonna Sawyer dressed as young Sparkle Guardian, saying, "Good job, Song Guardian," to a young Cherry dressed as a young Song Guardian. Did I say that right? Young Belladonna is dressed as young Sparkle Guardian. Young Cherry is dressed as young Song Guardian. Goes back to the body with no face and no belly. Goes back to a slightly different image of the same two guardians that never existed, having swapped their guardianship. Nice work, Song Guardian. Back to the body in the mists. Back to another shot of thank you so much, Song Guardian. You saved our lives. back to the body, and then back to Naughty. Its shell cracked by the jail cell door that almost closed and would have closed, trapping Tallahassee if Naughty hadn't ripped the Cherry's keys off of its shell and gotten between the door and the door jamb, blocking Reader Partizan from closing the door. Naughty's shell is almost broken away. You can see bits of the creature underneath. Cute, pink and white, almost like a piece of shrimp. And it just yells, Tallahassee! Or no, sorry, it yells, Stampede Guardian! You can do this! You can save her!
Oh, you bet your sweet
Tallahassee.
ass I can.
You are on your back on the ground at the feet of a sparkling, vaguely humanoid-shaped figure that has lines arcing off the back like parabolas or hyperbolas or other strange mathematical curves that don't mean anything to anyone who isn't a mathematician and that resemble wings. You are, in fact, are underneath this entity as the white flowers drip from its feet and land on you as vibrant hibiscus and iris and rose and peony all littered about you in a rainbow of colors, having gained color as they fell.
Oh, well, hey, darling, it's good to see you again. Give me 1 second. And on the ground, I want to like spin on my back and uh, fight Reader Partizan by kicking the door open so that he like falls backwards so that I can create an opportunity for us to get out of here, create an opportunity for an ally through physical prowess, hopefully.
So you're making a fight roll, is what I'm hearing, by kicking the
Yes.
door back into Reader Partizan. All right, I love that. Please roll. This sounds like you're rolling with daring rather than with grace.
Yeehaw. I agree. Okay, that's pretty good. That's an
I'm
8.
gonna give you some difficulty here. I'm gonna spend one of my GM strings to give you a -1, but it sounds
Okay,
like it didn't matter because you
lovely.
rolled an 8.
I did.
So
Oh, and I
it's
get to pick 2. I didn't just have to do 1.
you get to choose 2. Yeah.
I want to create an opportunity and uh I want to take an object from my opponent and seize a superior position. So I want to take his pants and I want to bring him down below his ankle after he falls down to the ground.
So you kick this door into Reader Partizan, and in the moment of Reader Partizan's victory, it hits him full in the face, sending him sprawling. And as you get up and run out to meet with the blurry-faced Sparkle Guardian, who has been named by our producer Drabby Gabby, and Scale Guardian. Sorry, my brain was falling apart there for a second. As you run out to meet those two, you grab his pants and you stop for a second and pants him. It's pulling
Hell
down
yeah.
his pants to reveal his underwear into the whole of the moment dimension as you run. Naughty is very, very beat up at this moment, as I told you. So Naughty can't. One of his wings is hanging half broken. He's unable to fly very gracefully as a result. He's moving slowly through the moment dimension, but unable to keep a straight path and unable to keep up with you. So Reader Partizan pants down, just reaches up and grabs Naughty out of the air and says, "Well, you took Aura with you, is that right?"
So what I wanted to do was I wanted to like knock him down so the door is wide open and
Mm-hmm.
like as he's down pull his pants below like on his ankles and just run and just like yell back to Aura and say run, Get out of here. I'll stay with him.
So Aura flies out, and Aura doesn't fly so much as just move in a straight line in that somewhat creepy way. And he grabs Naughty. He says, "No, this is my space. I'm the one who belongs here, not you."
Okay, can I do another fight roll?
Well, I want to see what Adrian's doing first, or what
Fair.
Scale Guardian's doing.
Okay. So I guess what Reader Partizan's just been pantsed?
Just been pantsed, sprawling on the ground, and holding Naughty in his hand.
He's holding
Tightly.
Naughty. Can I try to get him to let go of Naughty somehow?
What do you do?
Oh God.
I understand that that's your goal. You gotta tell me what you do.
Yeah, that's true. I do have to tell you what to do. Or what I do. He's on the ground. Can I just like step on his hand?
You want to run over and try to step on the hand that's holding Naughty?
Yeah, but without damaging Naughty, if that's possible.
Okay. And your
Like, step on
goal
his wrist or
is
something.
to get him to let go of Naughty.
Yes.
That sounds like a defy disaster roll to me.
Okay, what do I add for that?
I'm gonna say that you're rolling with daring.
Okay. That is a 10.
All right. I'm again gonna make it hard and spend that string, reducing it to a 9. So offering you a hard choice or success with a sacrifice. You can trade yourself for Naughty. You can free Naughty, but he will get you held as a new captive.
Shit.
Or you can not get Naughty, not actually manage to free Naughty, just be standing over him.
Well, I think I'll free Naughty.
You bring your foot down in this sort of stomping kick because his hand was raised. Hit him right on the wrist, push his hand down, and put all of your weight on your wrist to get him to let go of Naughty, which he does. And Naughty limps over towards the car, towards Cherry's car, as you and Tallahassee stand over Reader Partizan, who laughs and reaches to his left, where he grabs his partisan, which he hadn't seen before. He made it come out of nowhere. A partisan, if you're unaware, is a pole arm. It's one of those long pole, like a spear. It looks a lot like a spear. It's got a spearhead on top and a couple of protrusions at the base of the spearhead to parry blows with. And he brings it up, separating you from Tallahassee with its bulk for a moment. Hooks the back of your head with the protrusion. So the spear blade is behind you. He's using the flat side of the protrusion to pull you down, and immediately rolls over on top of you, holding your neck down with one arm. And looks up at Tallahassee and says, "Fair trade?"
I'm gonna punch him in the face until he knocks out.
All right, sounds like your actual goal is fight. So roll
Yeah,
the fight.
100%.
Is there
And
any way that I
100%.
can try to assist?
You can spend a string on Tallahassee to give him +1.
I only have 1 string.
You can spend it on it. If it's on Tallahassee, you can spend it on him to give him a +1.
I'm not gonna. I'll use it later.
All right. What'd you roll, Tallahassee?
I rolled a 9.
All right. Choose 2.
I want to create an opportunity for my ally. So I would love for Adrianne to be able to escape as I punch him. And he goes like a little blurry-eyed for a second that he just kind of goes limp and drops everything. And I want to inflict a condition on him. And I want to inflict, I think, frightened.
Okay.
If I get to pick.
Yeah, you totally get to pick. So you start beating this man brutally over and over again, right in the face. his arm goes slack for a moment as he loses his balance. And instead of supporting himself by the arm bar on Scale Guardian's neck, he slides to the right and lands on his elbow, giving Scale Guardian opening to run out if she chooses to of his grasp. He has a moment where he's going to get a chance to, or before he gets a chance to recover. Um, and I'm going to use my choice because you can always choose one back in a fight roll, and both of the previously drawn tarot cards to say that something happens over at the car where you're not paying attention. And I will leave that at that for this moment. Scale Guardian, you have that chance to escape. What are you doing?
I just taking that chance. I think she doesn't really have. She's just like so. That was very disorienting. She just gets up and kind of like stumbles away.
Okay, so you're just getting out of the way.
Yes.
Okay, you have the option, you just get out of the way. As Tallahassee or Stampede Guardian, as you are beating Reader Partizan over the head with your fist, he has dropped his partisan, and his partisan, as he shuffles and runs around, he brings his chest because he's just moving around. He brings his chest over on top of his partisan, and it shrinks back into his chest. It sheathes itself, and
Can
you
I
see
try
his skin.
defy
ahead.
disaster and grab it before it goes back into his body?
Sure. That would be a grace, I believe.
Okay. I just
And then
really, I'm
once
so
again, going to
sorry.
spin
I
a
don't
string.
like it.
I'm going to once again spin a string to give you a -1.
Okay.
Why?
I really hate this dude. You can't beat my rolls. You can't beat my rolls. That's a 12.
This
God
is why I
damn it!
didn't spend my string.
God damn it! You know, if I cared about cheating, Tallahassee, I'd require you to roll publicly. But I don't care, because if you're going to cheat in a role-playing game, go off, I guess? I hope you're having fun. I don't understand.
I do want to fail hard.
You do this with style. You see that he's rolling over, completely unknowing, just reacting to the beating. So you see that he's going to roll over his partisan, and you start seeing the glow of the chest of the sheep. And you snatch the partisan away from him. Somebody redeemed hydrate or die straight. You snatch the partisan away with him, and as away from him, and as you do, it seems to sort of pull his magical suit away, and you see him once again in those ironed jeans that have been ironed, his nice white button-up shirt, his tie that is untied and all askew, no sport coat, Italian loafers, slicked back hair. It's obviously got got a toupee on it. Let's see, yeah. So that's what you see as you pull the partisan away. I also had a tarot card I had to draw, and I drew an upright card. I drew the Hanged Man as an upright card. A card Mijuples has a close association with. Scale Guardian, as you stumble away from this pretty brutal bleeding, you realize you've gotten a little bit of blood on your toga, and you look up to see the back of Cherry's car with Drabby Gabby, the blurry-faced Cherry, driving it off with what seems like a slumped over aura inside of it.
Oh, that's
You
like
do not see naughty.
that's like not good. Um, can I want to say that I cast like a magical girl spell, but I don't know if I can just do that.
It's literally a playbook move of yours. You literally have the do anything playbook move.
Well, I mean, do I though?
Yes, it's the automatic move that every fallen gets.
Yeah. Okay. I don't
And
know.
of course, I try to check the text, and my computer freezes up.
Do you? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't.
You can cast. You can that spell. That power move literally lets you do whatever you want.
But what if, what if it takes a really long time? Um, 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 hmm. Can I try to do some sort of ritual casting that will just like stall the car completely?
Okay. So to those watching, uh, Scale Guardian is using a powered by lesbians playbook, a third party playbook called the Fallen. And in their move, they have the move Ritual Casting. You still know the secrets of great and powerful magic, but it's harder for you than it used to be, and it comes at a great cost. When you form a magic circle, tell the GM what you wish to achieve, and they'll choose 1 to 4 of the following requirements for this spell. I will. So tell me what it's like when you have to form a magic circle. What does that look like in this moment?
I think Adrian sees this happening, sees the car driving away, um, is like panicking, trying to think about what to do, and just like, what? Okay, what is the ground made of?
The ground is made of moment.
Okay, great. Can I draw on moment with chalk?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. She drops to the ground and pulls out a piece of sidewalk chalk that's like, I don't know, like stashed in part of her toga or something. And pulls it out and just starts like drawing this like really elaborate circle with all of these like ruins in inscrutable languages and like lines and sigils and glyphs everywhere. It's just like a huge circle that's like all around her. She's sitting right in the middle.
You draw these sigils that are specific to making the car stall out.
She has
You
to come up with them on
feel
the spot. She has to like make them in her head and draw them out.
mhm. You feel the power starting to come to you and through you, but you are in the moment dimension. You are in a world that is perpendicular to time, that exists at a right angle to time as you know it. It's very confusing. And instead of coming the way it used to back when you were 13, a rush of power, adult and intoxicating, and even sensuous, though you barely knew what that word meant at the time, or how it came to you near the end, or even recently, thin, like watered down wine, a hint of a memory of intoxication that left your taste buds aching for more, for what they remembered having happened and existed, like drips of water filled with dust. Doesn't come like either of those. It comes like shards of glass in a torrent. I'm going to give you 2 costs. You are going to have to stagger, and you are going to have to get Reader Partizan's help somehow. No, I'm going to go back on that. Fuck Reader Partizan. You're gonna stagger if you're gonna do this.
Yes, I will do that. I will stagger. I will be staggered.
How many conditions do you have?
Is smitten a condition?
No.
Okay, then just one.
So your choices are: you lash out at someone whose regard matters to you, which presumably means Tallahassee. Provoke
Maybe.
them to do something foolish or harmful and take advantage of a string, if you have one. Or you hesitate or stumble and the opposition gains an opportunity. Or you grin and bear the blow. Take 2 conditions.
Shit. I think she hesitates and the opposition gains an opportunity.
So as you're casting the spell, it takes all of your attention to deal with these shards of glass that are ripping through your soul. At least that's how it feels. You have to pull ever so hard. It's like a garden hose that's stuck on the wheel, so you have to grab it and really shove. But the garden hose is made of this torrent of glass shards. It's tearing at you, so you have to focus so hard that you end up pulling on the person who is in charge of the moment dimension right now, which is one of 2 people, Naughty or Reader Partizan. And you feel the energy flowing from you into Reader Partizan, who suddenly ripples back into that suit filled with words, that cape like a printed page billowing behind him, the mask covering his face, sort of almost carnivalesque mask, like Venetian carnival mask covering his face, as he looks up at Stampede Guardian holding his partisan, laughs, unreacting, and says, I don't need that anymore. I have a sword now. And looks at Adrianne.
No. Does Adrianne respond, or is she still busy like doing the circle?
And as he says that, the circle around you pulses in yellow and orange, and you hear a sound that sounds like a gunshot, but it's a back. What is that called again? In the car, backshot, and the car and Cherry's car starts
Backfire.
grind. Backfire. Thank you. I'm not a car gay, y'all. It backfires, and you hear gears grinding as it skids to a stop in the moment direction off in the distance.
Great.
And I think there's where we might want to jump back to the park. So we have to draw the attention again. We are in Sparkleheart Adventure Recreation Park, an amusement park in New Eden, California, with the tagline, "Where hearts sparkle and childhood never ends." It's filled with this thick fog that has no place in a desert town. And we are in front of a restaurant, if I recall correctly, where 2 old women sit. Remember Julio? Yeah, Julio. That boy had the finest abs. These are women of about 70 or 80 years old, sitting and talking about their high school sweethearts. As a still dressed almost exactly the same, I think, Belladonna Sawyer, little remnants of death metal grease paint stuck to the edges of her face.
She's full dog.
Oh, you're a dog form. Can you
Yeah,
describe
because
what the
she
dog
was
form
trying
looks like?
to sniff out a trail.
Yeah, can you describe your dog form?
Yeah, she's about a 8 foot tall, black furred. I guess werewolf would be the best way to describe her. Um, these icy spines are coming out of her back, just leaking down that dry ice fog. Her claws and her teeth are also just formed of long, jagged ice shards. And the fur on her face is almost in a skull pattern.
And she's walking delicately up the 2 or 3 stairs to the little dining area where these 70-year-old women are talking. Because honestly, who needs accessibility in an amusement park? Why are those stairs there? No one knows. I think it's because they hate disabled people. Um, and they're not noticing the giant icy werewolf walking up towards them. They're just sitting, and you hear one of them go, I still haven't ever told anybody about Gwen. Really? You haven't told anybody about Gwen? It was a different time back then. We didn't tell people about things, but she could kiss. As you walk up to them, and they just stay in their conversation about the good old days. Behind you, in the background of the shot, we see on one side, we see Cloudy Day. We see the blurry faced Solar Guardian fighting with, if I recall correctly, it's the facehugger made from Solar Guardian's sword. Is that right? Or was it
Uh,
Cherry? Or was it the
It
other
was the
sword?
pink one. It was the one from
It's the
Cherry's
pink one.
sword.
yeah, the broken
That
one.
makes sense.
So
Your
they're
busted
both
ass
broken.
sword that I broke.
Cloudy Day is fighting with a pink blade that has legs coming out of it at each corner, looking kind of like a facehugger from Alien, except made out of a blade, made out of crystal sword and pink. And on the other side, you see a trail of dead flowers and your friends, your two friends, I guess, following those dead flowers into the scene. But we're in the foreground is you walking up on these women who are just not noticing you, talking about their secret lesbian loves from high school.
Alright, so I thought that we left off with the blurry faced Solar Guardian with a sword to my throat. Because
Oh,
I failed
that's
that.
right.
I failed the roll to.
That's right. That's right. I'm mistaken. So
That was
the
my consequence.
that was your consequence. I'm mistaken. I apologize. In my defense, I have a 7-month-old in my life. So yes, you are stopped in front of these women who still are not noticing anything. They're still talking about Julio and Gwen. And Cloudy Day has her blade at your throat, and the other two haven't entered the scene quite yet. Uh, and you hear from Cloudy Day, "What are you doing?"
I'm trying to get them out of here before I have to fight you.
"I'm not interested in you."
Okay. So then what are you interested in?
They just move one hand up and down their body to indicate. Think you might want some think you might want some too.
Somewhat.
Vengeance,
Vengeance?
catharsis,
Against who? Who
again,
am I
indicate.
supposed to get vengeance from? Huh?
She sighs, this blurry face. My future life.
I just want to smack her.
What is your goal?
Oh no, I think no. It's, I saw Striker said that out loud.
Oh, um, Cloudy Day chuckles. Then you've already started. She'll be easier.
Oh no, you missed it. I whooped her ass.
All the easier. Thank you.
So you're not playing it. Are you gonna kill her?
Yes.
All right. Well, I can't let you do that. No, Iceful Striker's just gonna kick her in the chest to try and make as much distance as possible.
All right. So you're trying to. Sounds like a fight roll to me. So make roll with daring.
10.
I'm gonna. I'll hold off on that. All right. So you choose 3, and your opponent chooses 1.
Scroll all the way down. Because I forgot my moves. Where's fight? Fight, 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 fight. There we go. Okay. I want to. What a seize a superior position. Inflict a condition and gain a string.
What condition do you inflict?
I want to make her afraid. She just picked on the wrong fucking person.
You kick her back, gaining yourself some space.
Yeah, I
And
want to create as much space between her and these old ladies as possible.
you note her tense up, her like her neck, her shoulder muscles tense, and her breathing speed, her smell, which you can smell, shifts. She's not feeling so confident anymore. And
Uh,
but she good.
oh, I was gonna say, like, in terms of like creating an opportunity for an ally, is that Eidolon sword that I made still around?
Yeah.
Yeah, like the second I kick her away, I think I'm just gonna whistle. Like, just do a calling whistle.
Um.
They were fighting. I saw that, right?
You did. They were fighting.
And I made that. That's my baby.
I will let you roll call in a toxic power for that.
Okay. Oh no, that's spirit. I'm bad at spirit. That's 7. I'm mixed.
What are you trying to achieve with the whistle?
I'm trying to get it to attack her, so she's getting attacked from 2 directions.
So you whistle, and the blade turns sharply at the sound and sort of nods. I guess you assume it looks like a nod, and then backs up and gets into a pouncing position, jumps, leaps, slices across Cloudy Day's cheek, floats past your head, inflicting a big wound on the cheek, like seriously hurt. Um, Cloudy Day flies past your head and lands in the chest of one of the old women.
Don't get.
And that is the point in which the dead flower path brings the other 2 into the scene. seeing you whistle, the blade jump, do damage to Cloudy Day, and then land in the old woman's chest.
Um,
I'm pretty sure there is something that I might be able to do here to
I
not save this situation, possibly make
I-
it worse.
I have
You
something
make the
I'm gonna do.
situation worse.
I've got something that I'm gonna do. I think we were walking, and I have the green sword, and I was a little ahead. We were walking together, but I'm a little ahead. So we see this.
Mhm.
We see this occur, and I say, solar healing spell on civilian. I'll cause a distraction. And I would like to use a move called Fools Rush In. When you vault into a situation with no forethought and wind up way over your head, a bunch of stuff happens. So I'm gonna do that. And basically, I, with the green sword in my offhand, am trying to distract the facehugger. So I'm basically running up and doing a spin, and I'm trying to strike it, like, away from the woman. And I'm gonna
So,
do a defy disaster, is what the roll is.
well, no. So, hold on.
Okay.
What Fool's Rush In does is you are
Mhm.
going to get in over your head.
Yes.
That is part of the move.
Yes.
You're going to give someone dangerous to you a string, and I am trying
Yep.
to decide if Cloudy Day or Ice Wolf Striker is more dangerous to you in the moment. to get a
Ugh.
string on
That's up to you.
you. um, I'm gonna give it to. I'm gonna give it to Ice Wolf Striker just because that's fun.
Yeah.
All right.
You mark XP,
Yep.
and whenever you roll Defy Disaster, the next time you roll Defy Disaster, you will get a +1 to it.
Oh, okay. I thought I was rolling it. Okay.
No, you are not defying disaster. You are inviting disaster.
Yes, I'm inviting disaster. So basically just rushing into the lights of this restaurant is Cherry, looking terrible. I've got my jacket's torn from when Ice Wolf Striker hit me in the back. I've got one sleeve off. My arm is broken, like very obviously broken. And in my offhand, I am trying to swing this very large green sword.
So yeah, you swing that sword at Cloudy Day, who just looks would look Ice Wolf Striker in the eye if Cloudy Day had eyes, and just says, "Remember what we talked about," and then swipes around and easily parries your blade, and then like puts its blade or strikes at you with its blade.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I guess roll to defy disaster.
Great.
Now,
Oh, okay. Well, I've got okay, hold on. What do you usually add to that? Defy disaster.
this one would be
I know I have +1.
This one would be a. Would be a grace or a daring. You can call it daring.
Ooh. Okay, let's do daring because that is much better. So that is 5, 6, 8. That's a 9. Nice.
All right. You can keep its attention if you let it stagger you.
I
How
was
many
also trying.
conditions you got?
Only one right now.
Okay.
I cleared a bunch by being very reckless. But I was also trying to get the sword to like get out of the lady, like to also join the fray. So it's kind of a just a
Um,
very big distraction.
yeah. So then I'll change. I will change my offer. You can get the sword to come attack. Come join the fray. Create a three-way fray between you, Cloudy Day, and the sword. If you let Cloudy Day stagger you, you can't give Cloudy Day enough attention to
Yeah,
protect yourself
yeah.
if you're trying
I
to get the sword's attention.
I will take the stagger.
All right. Which option are you choosing?
I will choose. Let's see. Let's see. I had that pulled up. I will take reactive. Da-da-da-da. Okay, I have one condition. So,
I will offer you an XP. I'll use one of my storyteller strings. Offer you an XP to use the first one against Sawyer.
ooh. What do you mean the first one? I'm reading the list.
Lash out at someone whose regard matters to you. Provoke them to do something foolish or harmful, and use a string on them if you have one.
Oh, Okay. Yeah, wow. Yeah, so I'm assuming she parries me. Gosh, she
Uh-huh.
parries me and the pink sword turns around and joins the fight.
Yep.
And I look from the blurry face that's is it bleeding? Is what's coming out of its face?
Uh, what's coming out of its face is a glowing white blood. It looks like blood. It flows like
Okay,
blood.
but it's glowing.
And it's not the glowing white of the end of all things of teeth.
Okay.
This is like it's actually kind of yellow tinged. It's a sunny day. The glowing light of the
Oh.
sun on a sunny day is bleeding from its cheek.
Okay. Is our sunbeam okay?
Yes, currently.
Okay.
That wasn't
Okay.
ominous.
Yeah,
Me ominous?
yeah. Yeah, and I think because we were coming back to help you and you were already in the thick of it, and I just say oh no, that's too mean.
Nope, do that. Do that thing. That's what I offered you the experience
This is
point for.
Cherry. And I look at you and I look down at the green sword and I just remember your sword shattering and us a rough 3 hours ago at the roller rink trying to reform the team. And that's all Cherry wanted. That's all I wanted was for everyone to just get back on board. And just even despite what you just showed me, Cherry's just like, none of this would have happened if you had just gotten back on board.
And you're using a string to entice Icewolf Striker to do what?
To I guess attack a Cloudy Day.
Is that something foolish or harmful?
Could be. Or
Honestly, I
or
will tell
you
you
can
right
attack
now,
me.
absolutely, because
Okay.
that would mean because yeah, I was gonna try to help the old lady.
Okay. All right. So you're being offered an XP to attack um Cloudy Day. It's about break time, but before we go to break, Solar Guardian,
Yes.
what are you doing?
I think that when Cherry instructs her to go heal the old lady, she's not going to worry about what's going on because Cherry's going to handle it, and Sawyer the wolf is right there. I'm sure it'll be fine. I need to help. So I'm gonna go run over, ma'am, let me try to help you. And she'll try to channel magic through nature's touch. If
When you
you
say,
consider her somewhere safe because she's away from the combat.
ma'am, let me help you, she just turns her head towards her companion and chokes out, "This is just like that time on the cheer squad."
Yep.
Still caught in her nostalgia. And you are
And
using
nature's touch.
nature's touch.
Yep. I get to let the power of the natural world flow into the old lady when I touch her. So I'll press my hands on her shoulders and I rolled, oh gosh, plus spirit.
Plus spirit.
7.
Choose one.
Yep. So I choose to speak with animals and plants. No, just kidding. I'm going to clear the condition on this old lady, at least one of them, to hopefully prevent her from dying.
I'm gonna let it go. I can see the logic of what you're thinking, even though it's fuzzily connected to the text of the thing. So as you push this natural energy into this woman, as the blade pulls itself out and looks at you, um, you see the you see wood, like a living. Oh no, you see cactus flesh, not wood, because you're in the desert. You see cactus flesh filling the wound and forming a spot of cactus on her chest as she heals. And she looks at you, and you feel the fog that's filling the amusement park fill your brain. So instead of her getting a string on you, what's going on is Juicy is going to get lost, or Juicy, is you, is that Solar Guardian is going to get lost in the nostalgia, the same level of
Oh no.
almost, not quite the same level, but almost the same level of nostalgia, so hard you don't notice what's going on around you that
And
she was in.
I think she reaches out to touch the cactus flesh and see if the thing will prick her finger.
And that's where we will pick up after break. And Jupils has redeemed an individual flashback, so we're going to see an individual flashback with Sunbeam. This we're going to see the nostalgia she gets caught
Mm.
in, as then we'll go back to the story, the rest of the story. But first, 10-minute break, everybody. We'll see you in 10 minutes. Thank you so much for watching. We're building up towards the finale. This is the antepenultimate episode. Welcome back, everybody, to Sparkle Heart Magic Force Go, our game of Thirsty Sword Lesbians featuring a bunch of magical girls desperately trying to remember how to be nice to each other after 10 years and not even succeeding in their memories. Speaking of memories, right when we left off, um, our resident nature witch, Solar Guardian, the holder of the zeitgeist of the 17th century, was pulling on the natural forces in a desert amusement park in a place called New Eden, an amusement park called Sparkle Heart Adventure Recreation Park. Your heart sparkled and childhood never ends. To heal an old woman who had been stabbed in the chest by a crawling pink crystal sword blade. Like all good anime, this show is completely comprehensible to people who haven't been watching it. And in doing so, she not only left this 70-year-old woman with a patch of cactus flesh across her chest, but she let the fog, the mysterious fog, which, as I always say, has no place in the desert, into her mind, getting her lost in a moment of truest nostalgia. So we're going to go there for a moment. Juicy, what nostalgia does Sunbeam get lost in?
I think there's a test. We're all in the same class, and I think that she has studied so hard for this, and as she's going through, she knows she's acing it. And like I can see the image of all of us in the same room, everyone at different sort of states in the test. And she's just like head down, pencil going real fast. And she's got a smirk on her face.
It's a good feeling knowing that you have such mastery of this subject that you can finish the final in 10 minutes. You see a couple of rows away, your current, this is the Sunbeam flashback for those who've asked. You see your current target, the current target of your mean girl tactics. You see her with her brow furrowed, chewing the eraser of her pencil, obviously completely uncertain of what the question is even asking, let alone what the answer is. And that nice feeling of superiority that you are still willing to admit you enjoy lances through you. In time, 10 years or so, you will disavow that you ever feel this feeling of superiority without ever letting the feeling go. For now, you're honest about it. You enjoy feeling smarter than she is. You enjoy seeing your friends finishing the test almost as fast as you. What are you going to do with your friends if you finish early? Like, for me, when I would finish a Latin test early in high school, I would play Magic the Gathering with another friend of mine on the floor of the classroom. What is Sunbeam going to do if the other four finish early?
I think if everyone finishes early, maybe she'll try to convince them to go to the library for like a study round for the next test.
Sunny really enjoyed being in school, didn't she?
It's the only way she ever got validation from the important people in her life. Yeah.
In that associative way that nostalgia has, can we see a moment of her getting that validation from someone in her life?
Yeah, I think she takes her report card home and it's A's across the board. Not all of them are A pluses, but she's so excited to show straight A's. And she like brings it to her parents who after a pause, do reward her for the straight A's. And I think
Tell us
they
about
like
her.
take her
Go
out.
ahead.
Yeah. I think they take her out to dinner or something. And it's like her favorite place, and they know that. It's like the place they take her for her birthday.
Tell us about her parents.
They're very straight-laced, very quiet people, always expectant. They they have very high standards, and they won't tolerate failure.
And what is the restaurant that they take you to?
I think it's this Italian place, like kind of cheesy, but they have great meatballs, and she loves their sauce. And I just imagine her dumping tons of Parmesan, which she'd never do now. But then dumping tons of Parmesan onto her pasta and like 3 huge meatballs on top of it, on top of like the pile of noodles.
And you see your parents like almost go to stop you, and then they rethink it as halfway to stopping you. And they're just like, "You, you earned this, Sonny.
Thanks, Mom.
You can have whatever you want."
Anything?
For our A student, anything.
Okay. I'll think about it. And she's always thinking about it so hard, she never actually gives an answer.
And your mother chuckles as you say you think about it. Always trying to optimize everything. That's our girl.
She's just being
Your
mean.
your father, who's an engineer at some government lab off in the distant desert. Obviously, Jikanno Hoi, when he was planning the series, when they were planning the series, was thinking of something like the Trinity test site when they wrote this into Sunny's character. Uh, just like cups your shoulder and says, "That's my little engineer."
And I think through all of this, we never see their faces. Like the camera's always cut at their neckline.
I'll do you one better. I'll take an effect from my favorite anime, and they are just silhouettes. It's filled with black. You
Okay.
don't see their faces. You see their hair,
Yep.
but everything else is just a black silhouette. Um, the next scene in the nostalgia, you are tagging along with your parents at some party or another. It's a party that is adult enough to be boring to you, especially as a teenager. You
Mm-hmm.
desperately want to be grown up, but not the kind of grown up your parents are.
Oh, never.
And right, and so you're bored out of your mind, and it leads you to watching what your parents do. And you watch as your father gets into this sort of game of one-upmanship with another parent about the achievements of their respective children. So the other parent says something about how their child uh, is competing in the mathletes at their school, and your father talks about how you're in the running for the valedictorian of your high school, and the other one parent talks about an extracurricular activity, fencing, that they're going to be competing in a fencing championship. And then your father brings up some of the other major achievement of yours, back and forth in this way that you're just realizing is adult aggression.
Hmm.
And you feel for the first time a sort of, what's the word, non-obligatory identification with your father. You know, when you're a child, you identify with your parents because they're your parents, right? It's tautological. This is the first time you've seen something in your father that you see in yourself.
Hmm.
It's your father is being a mean girl, just the adult version of it. How did that make Sunny feel back in the day?
I think it's a realization. It's twofold. One is that her parents are imperfect. And the other, I think, is that this may not be pleasant, but if he's doing it, must be right.
And so then the nostalgia of it, that looking back with rose-colored lenses upon the past, is the comforting feeling of knowing that you were already doing the right thing.
Hmm.
That you continue doing the right thing even while you pretend to have overcome the right thing. Like you're getting two levels of good from this nostalgia, because good nostalgia doesn't have to make sense. You're getting, thank God I'm not like that anymore, and I'm still doing the right thing by being a mean girl at the same time. Give us one more bit of nostalgia from Sunny.
I think there's the day that she got her PhD. Like she was so nervous doing those final steps under board review, and this is the day she gets to call herself a sociologist.
You're handed your diploma. You're wearing the outfit, and you are addressed as Dr. Sunbeam. What's her last name?
Devinson.
You're addressed as Dr. Sunbeam Devinson for the first time. Your heart fills with a warmth. This is not something anyone can take away from you. While you're having this feelings and these emotions rush over you, you're reaching out a hand towards the cactus skin on this 70-year-old woman's chest. You're pressing one finger against one of the spines, slowly. A lot of people don't quite realize that cactus spines, much like porcupine spines, aren't aren't made of metal. They aren't solid like made of metal. They bend if you push on them right. They're still plant material. And you're pushing slowly, and you can see the spine bend just a tiny bit before it pricks your finger, and you feel pain and blood running down your hand onto this woman. And that brings you back out of the nostalgia for just a little bit. But I'm telling you, because of the effects of everything, you're going to get pulled right back into that nostalgia in a little bit.
Hmm.
And when you're pulled out of the nostalgia, you see um, Cherry, you see Sparkle Guardian in a bad way, desperately fighting off. Uh, I think both. If my brain's been everywhere, y'all. Both the blade face hugger thing and Cloudy Day, that other
Yes.
you, that old you, that blurry faced you. And Sparkle Guardian is desperately trying to fight both of them off, while Ice Wolf Striker is standing there watching, breathing hard. Ice Wolf Striker, what are you doing?
Muted. There we go. Well, Cherry just pissed me the fuck off. So I think she just says, "You want me to be part of the team? Fine. I'll be part of the team. Here, let me show you how to take care of a fucking princess." And she puts her fists together and spreads them apart, and there's just a long icy chain between them, followed by a loud thump as a guillotine blade attached to the end of this chain drops to the ground. So you were right, it was a guillotine, but not the whole guillotine. I just need the chain and the blade.
Love
Uh,
it.
so yeah, she picks it up and starts swinging it, and then is going to thrust it out to try to chop off this fake guardian's head.
Um, as you after you release the guillotine and it thumps into the ground and you start moving it, you notice that it leaves a smear of red rust behind it. as it drags along the ground, and then when you lift it up to swing it hard, it's flinging that rust off into the distance. It is a blade that never ceases to have that rust. You are, I believe, trying to hurt the cloudy day. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm trying to, take appropriate measures against nobility.
I think I've run out of space in the episode list for more pretentious titles. But please, Baba Yaga, our producer, will you write that down as a title for the next series? Will you please write down taking appropriate measures against nobility?
That was actually
Right.
the name of Butcher Every King's last album.
Right? Seriously. All right, make your roll, Icewell Striker.
Not super great. That's only a 7.
Choose two.
A string would only give using my string would only give me 1, huh?
Correct.
Scroll all the way back down. Ba-ba-ba. Oh, I passed it. Okay, why am I messing with this? Here we go. I'm going to inflict another condition. And I want to take an object.
What are you taking?
Am I allowed to take a limb?
I'll let you.
Yeah, I want to take off the hand that's holding the sword.
And what condition are you inflicting?
You know, this strikes me as a... Well, she's already frightened. Let's...
I have an idea if you want me to choose.
Yeah, go ahead.
So she is angry. And you see this. Oh, by the way, I should add, there was a tarot pull before we took the break. I forgot to show everyone. It was also an upright card. They've gotten 2 upright cards this game. The 3 of Wands. So you see her as you slice off her wrist, and there's a spray of that blood, the shining color of the sun on a bright, warm, relaxing day. You hear a be that way. She reaches down and snatches the pink blade with its legs from the ground and slams it onto her wrist where it melds into her arm. Try taking this away.
Well, I know something that I am capable of doing with that blade right now. Is it still squirming?
As she sticks it on her arm, the legs calcify into those sort of pointless. I think there's some sort of point because I think actual weapons have them. The little, like, flame-like protrusions of
Yeah,
the blade.
those are for catching other blades.
I figure that's usually what they are. But you know what I mean? The ones that, like, kind of look like flames a little bit, you know? It turns into that down the length of the blade on her arm.
Sounds like some
Fairy.
Eidolon shit, and I hate those Eidolons.
Sparkle Guardian, what are you doing?
That's my sword. Well, okay. I got Icewill Striker back into the fight, which is what I wanted, and I think it makes me like push back and stop and breathe for a second because I'm not in my magical girl form. And when I see Cloudy Day, Power Ranger up with my sword, I think I'm just like, no, and I'm gonna try to attack her, to try to disarm her, if that means like Iceful Striker was trying to do, to take her arm off or getting her to drop it or something. Basically, there's no plan here. I'm desperate.
Your blade is now part of her arm, you realize.
Well, that's a problem for her. So
So you're trying to fight, is what I'm hearing. Or are you trying
yes.
to fight disaster? Do something else? Trying to fight? Okay. Make your roll.
Yeah.
This sounds like you're rolling with daring.
Yeah. Except I got a 6. No. Oh no.
You with your broken arm, you still have
I could
the
spin a string, but I'm not going to.
You know you're not gonna.
you still have the blurry-faced Song Guardian's blade in your other hand, if I recall correctly.
Yes.
So you have one arm dangling broken. Your proper arm, which I believe you're right-handed, I believe. So your right
Yes.
arm is dangling. And holding in your left hand, you have now this thick, huge Viking blade made out of green crystal. And you bring it up. And actually, so Cloudy Day starts charging you. And you try to bring up this blade to meet it and fail. And it just knocks you down. Like, basically runs over you. You get a knee in the face. You land back on your back in the dirt. Winded. You're going to stagger. And as it jumps off of you at um, Solar Guardian.
No.
So Cloudy Day is attacking Solar Guardian. But before we get there, you have to stagger. You have one condition. What's your choice?
Oh boy, let's see. Back to the stagger list. Okay. Whew. All right. Let's see. I've only got the one. Oh, my computer's freezing. Let's see. Lash out, provoke again. Oof, yeah. I think I stumble because she literally knocks me over and the opposition gets an opportunity because I am on the ground. Again.
All right. Yeah, you don't even slow her down. She knocks you to the ground, winded, with your blood coming out of your mouth. And she doesn't even slow down as she leaps at Solar Guardian. Solar Guardian, what are you doing? Remember, you're about to get lost back into that nostalgia.
Yeah, I assumed I was kind of entranced still, but if I can
The-
take an
The
action.
prick brought you out of it enough to witness this. And I'm giving you one action before you get pulled back in.
Am I able to evade?
Tell me what you're going. Tell me what
Yeah.
you see on the screen.
Yeah, it would be I would hear the noise, turn my head, and recognize something was coming at me, because there's something coming at me, right? So I
Yes.
would like to try jumping out of the way. And
Okay.
pulling the old lady with me so she doesn't get hit.
Okay. Roll Defy Disaster
Okay.
with I think Grace. And I'm going to spend my last GM string to give you a -1.
Then I got a 6.
You should not be happy that I am hurting you like this.
I'll spend a string.
I was gonna
spend a
say.
string.
To do it, you got to do it. How are you spending the string?
I think right as like she's about to hit like midair, all that jazz, Sawyer's just gonna reach up and just like grab her by the ankle. So the hit might go through, but it's not gonna hit quite as hard. Just kind of stop some of that momentum.
Okay. So you grab Cloudy Day by the ankle By the way, I always forget to call this out, but in this particular scenario, when you spend a string to help someone, they gain a point of trust. Bond? I never remember which is which. If they get their trust up to 4 higher than their bond, they gain a point of bond.
They
This is
can't
true
do
of
that with me.
true of everybody except Ice Wolf Striker. And since the role that uses this stat picks the lowest of those present, Ice Wolf Striker has a -1 and will always have a -1. That's not going to matter much, but you do gain 1 because there was a string spent to help you.
Excellent.
So that would
Thank
be
you.
yeah, you gain 1. Yes.
Listeners, we're not building much trust in this game.
No,
really
not
have-
at all.
I think 2 people have gained bond.
Yes.
And they're both in the moment right now. I think
Yeah, no, where they
they're
need
lost
to be.
in the moment with you. Solar Guardian. You can protect yourself or the old woman, but not both.
Oh, then the old woman.
So
Good.
you, instead of pulling the old woman out of the way, you literally throw her, like you plant your feet and throw her to get her out of the way fast enough, trusting in the magic
Yeah.
you just pumped into her to protect her as she falls. And Cloudy Day lands blade first in you.
Oh.
I'm gonna say what would be a good spot for it to land in you. I'm gonna
My
say that it gets
side?
caught. I'm gonna say that it gets caught in your bicep, and like your bicep kind of protects the meatier parts of your body, the more dangerous parts of your body. But there's a blade full on stuck in your bicep right now as she is tackling you. And then you get lost in the nostalgia. You go right back into taking that test and watching your friends try finishing the test as quickly as they can so they can go to the library with you. You go right back to that diner shop we saw at the beginning of the episode, being mean to Adrianne by drawing all over her notes. You do not sense what is going on with Cloudy Day anymore. And Cloudy Day has stabbed you with Cherry's sword that was on the end, with Sparkle Guardian's sword that was on the end of her arm. And the other two can hear as we cut back to the moment. Perfect. Now, I can become just as powerful as Song Guardian did. And that's where we're going to cut back to the moment. Actually, she'll say as Helga did. She won't say Song Guardian. She'll say as Helga did. In the moment, we've got far off. We've got a fancy car. I think it's called a Trans Am. I only remember that because it makes me think that everybody in America is trans, which is how it should be.
It's a gold 1979
79.
Firebird with pink leather interior. The tag says Rosebud.
And the grinding of the gears has stopped. There's a small little trickle of smoke coming up from the hood. Meanwhile, Scale Guardian is standing in the midst of a chalk circle that has been glowing orange and yellow, having caused this. And behind her, Stampede Guardian is on the ground. What was it? It was Reader Partizan is now changed back into his masked form. I'm gonna say that he's standing over you at this point. He rolled out and stood up over you, looked down and said, "I don't need my partisan anymore because I have a sword."
Well, what should I call you then, sir? Mr. Reader Sword?
He laughs. Just call me the 21st century. And he'll grab you and start dragging you towards the jail cell.
And as he touches me, I'm gonna say, "Well, then you can call me Stampede Partisan," and I'm gonna shove the partisan in myself.
Yes, yes. This is
Oh my
all I've ever wanted
God.
is for everybody to just fucking
You
change
did
their
this,
shit.
Eve.
Yes.
You did this, Eve. This is all your fault.
Yes.
I love that the audience is throwing the O card in chat right now.
Ah!
Are they?
All right, roll call it a toxic power.
Actually, could I say something before I do it?
Of course you could.
I want to say, I fucking love all my Sparkle Guardians. And it's because I love them. And because I love, and I look over at Adrian, and I'm going to do this. And I would love to use one of my playbook moves instead of calling on a toxic power. I would like to call
What
on
is
a
your playbook move?
lovely power. My playbook move is a new one I achieved, the magic of love. When you are smitten with somebody and proudly extol the power of love, either of you may spend a string on the other to gain use of one of their playbook moves for one scene. And I would love to spend my string on Adrian to use their cast a ritual.
Oh God.
Ooh,
Oh God.
describe this. I need to know what is going on right now.
I think as the partisan goes into a Stampede Guardian, they're really just trying to take over this moment dimension. And in the moment that Reader Partisan took over this moment dimension, he was Reader Partisan, not the 21st century. So they are just focusing all of the partisans' energy into them and just doing whatever, like maybe she had seen Reader Partisan do in the past to like wield his magic or do something like maybe like opening portals or some bullshit like that, to like cast the ritual to take over, and like eventually the partisan will go inside and a white suit will appear over Tallahassee's like not like older like 19th century outfit, and uh she will then like look down and the bonnet will change into like a beautiful like velvet white 10-gallon hat that will like tip down over her eyes, and when she lifts up her eyes are shining blue still, like bright blue, like denim,
Real sick bolo tie.
and a real sick
Yes.
ass bolo tie.
Okay,
Oh my God.
you're gonna have to stagger.
That's fine.
Your goal is to take over the moment dimension. Is that right?
That's my main goal. Yes.
Um, you're gonna need to pull on the help of a toxic power. So I'm gonna send you privately the effects of this on you if you agree to do it.
Okay.
It's not a blind bargain. I will send you
Okay.
the effects, and you will have the ability to agree or disagree.
Okay.
And you're going to forget who Adrian is.
Fuck.
Oh
Yeah,
my
okay.
God.
If you decide to do this, and you might understand why when you read what you're about to read.
Understood. Okay. Really also prepare myself to take whatever the fuck I need to stagger.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Is there anything I can do?
Do it. Burn it. We don't need to be guardians. We
don't.
could be better.
So I've sent it to you, Cam. and that it will also give you an understanding into the nature of Reader Partizan, I think. And I'm sorry about the caps. I realized my caps lock button was pressed a little bit late.
Oh, that's so wild. Here's the thing. Tallahassee is the goddamn moment.
Yes.
Oh my god.
So how many conditions do you have?
I think I have 2. I got
So
2.
you were choosing from the 0 to 3 conditions list.
Mm-hmm.
Lash out at someone whose regard matters to you. Note that you have forgotten who Adrianne is. Hesitate or stumble, or grin and bear the blow.
Well, here's the thing. In the moment, you really just gotta grin and bear it, don't you?
Yes, you do. What conditions are you taking?
Okay. I'm gonna take guilty. I'm gonna take hopeless.
Jesus.
Now, for those who have been watching this series, you will know that at this point, because of something with the blurry faces, when somebody gets hopeless, generally speaking, this happened to both Cherry and to Sawyer. Their clothes change and revert to the average clothing of somebody from the era of their zeitgeist. Sawyer turned into a Viking woman, like bland, boring, not like a hero, but just a normal Viking woman. And Cherry changed into a poodle-skirted 50s lass. So, for those who are watching, you might be surprised to know that when Cam takes Hopeless in this moment, that doesn't happen. The outfit description that Cam just described happens instead. Cam, you are immune to that clothes changing aspect of being hopeless right now, for the reason that I messaged you in PMs. So, Sawyer, not Sawyer, correction, Scale Guardian. I made everyone have S names, and then one of them gave their character an S name. Scale Guardian. You hear off in the distance as the car screeches to a halt.
Wonderful.
Really? I'm just taking back what's mine.
Who said that?
That was Dabby Gabby. Drabby Gabby? Drabby Gabby.
How is that yours?
And she looks at, turns around, one arm on the back of the seat next to her, like looking over her shoulder, very like at the beach summer, la la.
Sure.
Looking past Aura's slumped over body and saying, "Do you think Cherry bought this?"
Yes? I don't know. I just assumed.
She like pulls herself up out of the chair, starts walking like on the top of the car. She walks right past the slumped over Aura, onto the trunk of the car, and is walking towards you, her blade in her hand. Cherry can never afford this. She got it in a garage. Found it. Stole it.
Is what? Wait, is that wait? Is that That's not true. Cherry wouldn't do that.
It wasn't hers. It was just in a garage because it was mine. And she's gonna rush you with her blade.
Oh god.
Drop the spell! Yelling, drop the spell!
I mean I don't.
What do you do as she's rushing at you? I mean, I don't.
What do I do? What, she's trying to attack me? Can I, like, defy disaster or something to, like, avoid her attack?
Yeah, what are you doing? You're just avoiding. Okay, but what are you doing? Are
Just
you dodging? Are you
Oh,
using a
shit. If
magic
I move out of the
shield? What are you
circle, is
doing?
it gonna break the spell?
What are you gonna do?
Try to just move out of the path of her sword.
Okay, you're just trying to dodge. So,
Yes.
roll me defy disaster with grace.
With grace?
Grace.
I knocked my computer over, sorry.
I mean, I'm just out here trying to make you nervous as fuck.
Don't worry about that. Fuck, I rolled snake eyes.
Ah!
So, hey, that's a 3? Does a 3 do it?
Ye-
Hey, does a 3 do it?
No, a 3 is not a 7, or an 8, or a 9, or a 10, 11, or 12. So, I'm making everybody stagger, so I'm gonna make you stagger.
Can I use a playbook move called take 2 steps forward, 1 step back, where once per session when I stagger, I can mark XP and take +1 forward?
Repeat it, please.
Once per session when you stagger, mark XP and take +1 forward.
Yes.
Yay.
So take an
Okay.
XP. Your next roll will have +1, but you are still
But I'm
staggering.
still staggered. Yes.
So you're still lashing out at someone whose regard matters to you. I will remind you that you do remember
I
who
do remember
Tallahassee is.
Tallahassee. Yes.
You hesitate or stumble, giving the opposition an opportunity, or you grin and bear the blow, marking 2 conditions.
I think I'm gonna lash out at somebody that is important to me.
Okay. How are you gonna do that?
Well, because this
There's also
whole
Naughty
time,
and Aura. I will point out. There's also Naughty and Aura.
Naughty and Aura, yeah. Well, I think though I'm gonna lash out at Tallahassee this whole time. She was just like, what, beating up Reader Partizan, and now like is doing some sort of magical girl transformation. I think I'm just gonna yell like, Tallahassee, what the fuck are you doing? Why aren't you helping me? Because like in Adrian's head, Adrian is like, we're getting out of here. We need to like leave. We need to get Aura. We need to go. But like to her, that is not what Tallahassee is doing.
And do you have a string on Tallahassee?
I do have a string on Tallahassee.
So you're gonna spend it.
Mm-mm.
Now I've been assuming that these are spending to offer an XP to do something. However, with the current state of things, I think you're actually going to spend it for the other form of forcing somebody to do something. So you're going to spend it to know what you have to do to get the moment to do what you want. So Cam, please tell Saul what Adrianne would have to do to get the moment to do the thing.
Well, Saul, in the moment, if everything is moving too fast and trying to get away and do things, the moment just needs everyone take a moment and chillax for a second.
So if you chillax for a second, you will get what you want out of the moment. You realize as you look at the moment, and you realize as part of that, because of the weirdness of that realization, Tallahassee doesn't remember you. As you realize that you have to chillax in order to get them to do the thing.
Shit.
So do you chillax?
Fuck, but there's like a dude with a sword coming at me.
And it's Cherry.
It's a woman with a sword. Yes.
There's a woman with
Girl.
a sword.
A 13-year-old girl.
There's a 13-year-old girl with a sword. That is somehow worse.
She has no face.
That doesn't make it better. Tell you that. Shit. Oh my god.
You can't fight the moment.
I think Adrianne looks at the child with the sword and looks back at Tallahassee, who's forgotten her, and thinks about what she just learned. And I think she just sits back down in the middle of the ritual circle and puts her palms like down on her thighs, facing upwards.
And the moment, what are you doing? I will rule that we have to refer to you as the moment, not moment, the moment.
The moment. The moment's gonna see in all this chaos, Adrianne being the only thing that is standing still. Now, I don't recognize the past. I don't recognize the future. So if things have happened, that's out of my periphery. If things are happening, that's out of my periphery. But if you stand still, just for a moment, then the moment can see you clearly. And I think if you stand still and the moment sees you, you're in that moment for as long as you need to be. And everything kind of just like shutters out, and it's just this void of the moment and their white denim and blue eyes, and Adrianne just sitting in the middle of a circle.
So what I'm hearing is you are causing everything else, the jail cell, Dick Doug, the car with Aura and Noddy, Drabby Gabby, it all, you're just making it all go away, and it's just the two
Just
of you
for,
now.
just for this
Is
moment.
that right? Okay. Roll me. Roll me. I don't feel like you're calling on a talk. I feel like you're taking a neutral power. No, I'm just gonna say that you do it. You change the moment such that it's just you and Adrianne. No role needed.
Very rare you see somebody take the time to stand still.
Uh, fuck.
Fuck.
Don't.
Hey, how do you hold on to a moment in time?
Is that a serious question, or are you like, is this a test?
Why wouldn't it be a serious question?
I don't know. How do you
You
hold
did
on
it.
to a moment?
How do you? How do you?
Do I?
How do you?
um, um, I tend not to. There's not a lot of moments for me to hold on to.
Slippery little things. And I think the moment starts to step forward, and with every step, it's like a frame of what was there, kind of just like flash before us, and everything is just like frozen and moving until I get right up to Adrianne and kneel down. Why are you taking the moment?
I think I just had to.
There ain't no shame in that. Usually, you take a moment because you need something. And I tip my hat to you. What can I do for you, little miss?
I think Adrianne maybe reaches out to just sort of touch the moment somehow, like a hand on a knee or on an arm, or even just like on her cheek. And she says, "Well, I just need you to remember me."
I'm pretty sure you're both rolling entice right now.
Are we? I think we are. What do you add to entice?
Heart.
Heart?
And you can spend a string for a plus.
Don't
And
know
once
any of
again, our
those.
chat is trying to throw cards like they're at the table.
I dropped both of my dice on the floor. Can I re-roll?
Yes.
Fuck. 6.
If I forget
Wait, I have a
So
plus
someone,
string
one.
on
I have a
top.
plus 1. 7.
Oh, that's right. You have the plus one. Okay. And what'd you get, Cam?
I got an 8. Sorry, I got a 9.
So both of you have the result gain a string on the other person unless they decide instead to choose one. Get flustered and awkward, promise something they think you want, or give in to desire. So I'm going to start by asking Scale Guardian. Are you giving a string to the moment, getting flustered and awkward, promising something you think the moment wants, or giving in to desire?
I'm giving the moment a string.
So the moment you now have a string on Scale Guardian, and
Yes.
the moment, are you getting a string on? Are you giving a string to Scale Guardian, getting flustered and awkward, promising something you think that she wants, or giving into desire?
Well, I don't think you can give in to anything if you are a singular moment. All you can do is give a string.
Adrianne, this feels familiar. This feels like when Reader Partizan was giving you roses.
Oh, fuck.
You both have a string on each other. You can both influence each other's behavior. Please go back into the scene.
Huh. I feel you. I see you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But I don't know if it's something I did on purpose. It's a strange thing. Take your time. Especially in... Where are we?
That is a good question. We are in the moment.
Sounds nice. You can just stay here forever if you want.
Yeah. No. Oh God.
No? I mean, it does always seem nice to share a moment with someone, doesn't it?
It is. It is. Yeah. So you don't know who I am, do you?
Yes, I do.
Who am I?
You're the one taking your time. I know who you are. I may not know who you used to be or who you will be, but those things change. And right now, we're not doing that. It's just you and me in this moment. I'm going to sit down.
There's so much we have to get back to. There's
Like what?
at Cherry's car. And I mean, I came here in the first place to tell you that Sawyer turned into a wolf and we need to go do something about that.
Look
And
around
I
you.
mean, God,
I don't see no Sawyer. I don't see no car. I don't see no have to do. It's just you and me.
I think Adrianne, leans in and just kisses Tallahassee really, really innocently. Just a little peck on the lips.
I think
Are
the
you
moment
trying
is smitten.
to? Are you trying? Okay, I hear the moment is smitten. Saul, are you trying to accomplish something with it? Like, are you spending the string to get it at the moment to do something? Are you offering emotional support to the moment? Or are you
Oh
just kissing?
gosh.
Is it just a narrative action?
I mean, I think it's just a narrative
Okay.
narrative act. I think that's all it
Okay.
is.
I'm gonna leave it there. Um, the moment you are smitten, tell everyone why, and give a string to Adrianne to first tell everyone why you're smitten with Adrianne in this moment.
The moment is smitten because it's so hard to stay here for so long if this is not who you are, and somebody who will take the time to just be there with you is somebody worth sharing the moment with.
Give them a string. So, Scale Guardian, you get a string on the moment. And unless
Wonderful.
Cam wants to preempt me, I'm going to answer the ugly on the inside question for you, which
Okay.
is why do you think they will never be able to accept the real you? And the answer is that moments are not things you can accept, they're gone too quickly. Accepting is a reaction. Once you've accepted the moment, it's gone. So there's no way that this could be anything lasting. And you know that, and you realize that, and you accept that, and you are that. That by the time she becomes smitten with you, you will no longer be there. And that's the beauty of it, and that's the heartbreak of it.
And the strangest thing is, she'll no longer be there either. I think this brings a tear to the eye of the moment. And as it drops down, it hits whatever counts as the ground that we are sitting on, and it kind of just ripples. And I think it really like highlights that like magical circle that you were sitting in. And I want to look down and like pull away from the kiss. And I want to I don't know your name, but I want to tell you it's all going to be okay. Everything you need is always going to be, and I just like pound my fist very gently to their chest. It's all right here. And I point to their forehead. And it's all right there. You are made of stardust, and the expansion of time. You are an ever-changing being who holds multitudes inside of you. You've taken this moment, and only you know what to do to move into the future.
Yeah.
Hold on,
And
I'm trying to come
as
to it.
always happens, hold on. As always happens in the moment, when you say move on into the, you don't finish the sentence.
Mhm.
Okay.
So you said you're trying to offer emotional support.
Yes. please.
Oh my god. Oh.
Please roll with spirit. And if you spend a string on Scale Garden, you can get a +3. But you can decide that after you roll.
Okay. I think I'll spend the string to take the +3
Okay. And with
because
your
I have a
total?
-3 to this, so the total
Oh
would be
shit! The total's 12.
yes.
Jesus.
So it's narratively it's on you right now, Scale Guardian, to open up or not. So I heard you start to react before I had the roll happen. So what were you gonna do?
Well, I don't know if I should do it now.
You should, because the roll is not something that the character can react to.
That's true. Well, I was. I mean, I was gonna try to reach in her chest and pull the partisan out.
Okay. I think the choice about opening up hasn't been made yet,
No, it hasn't.
but you can roll calling on toxic power.
Oh god. Okay. What do I add to that?
Spirit.
Oh, good. I'm good at that.
And you could spend a string on the moment in order to get a +1 if you want. And you can turn that after if you will.
I got an 8.
Okay, so the string's not going to matter. I will let you know that you can only... that Tallahassee will not be happy if you do this. This will be... Remember we got the Hanged Man? It's
Yeah.
upright. One of the things with the Hanged Man is betrayals and loneliness. So that's might be good because it's upright, but it's not going to leave Tallahassee happy with you. Do you still want to do it?
Okay, Adrianne is banking. Fuck, man. Oh my god. Is there anything I could do that could make her remember?
I did not plan a victory condition going into this, which means that you can create the victory condition. All I do is react by telling you what the roll is.
Oh my
You
god.
got a mixed beat. You got a mixed beat on calling with toxic power.
I did.
One of their things is it can take something from you.
Oh my god.
Somebody has redeemed Hydrate or Die Straight.
Wonderful, great, thank you. Oh my god. Would I be able to somehow, like... Could I? Okay, wait. What are my moves? What are my moves? Can I try to... Oh my god. Okay, well, she said that she doesn't know who. She said she doesn't know who I am. So I think I'm just gonna. Can I introduce myself, but do it in a way that is emotionally supportive?
So you're not gonna pull Blade out first. You're not gonna pull the
Yeah,
partisan out.
not yet.
You're gonna do-
I'm gonna
so-
leave that on the burner, in the back burner.
So you can introduce yourself. It sounds like you
Mhm.
also want to make an emotional support roll.
I would
First,
like
we're gonna
to.
find out. First, we're gonna find out if when you introduce yourself, you're opening up, because we still have to figure that out. So tell us how you introduce yourself.
Fuck. I think maybe she goes, well, I'm Adrianne. You can call me that, or the one who takes a moment works too. I don't remember the last time I did take a moment. I think it takes an awful lot to get me to take one. Someone
Dude, you never
real
take it
important.
before. I like the one who takes a moment. The one who takes a moment has only ever taken this moment. And gee golly, am I taking it.
That works.
So, what do we think? Did Scale Guardian open up in response to the emotional support?
I think that's up to Cam to decide.
I think so.
So, Adrian, Scale Guardian, you choose one. Clear a condition, mark XP, +1 forward, or gain insight from me about an obstacle facing you.
Wait, a clear condition marked +1 forward or gain insight. Is there anything else or just those three?
It's mark XP and gain +1 forward.
Okay. Can I gain insight about a situation?
Do you have a specific question?
Do I have a specific question? I mean, it's vague, but is there literally anything I can do to remedy this situation without somehow hurting Tallahassee or making her upset?
Tallahassee has merged with the moment dimension
Yeah.
and given up her connection to her zeitgeist in order to do so. You know that Naughty is a creature of the moment dimension.
Mm.
And you know that Reader Partizan was able to access and control the moment dimension because he was connected to the zeitgeist of the 21st century, the zeitgeist of now. You're not entirely certain how Naughty is able to interact with the world as you know it outside of the moment dimension. It's possible that that connection to present time is how Reader Partizan was able to do it. You get a sense that the moment no longer has a connection to the past. She's basically told you. No longer has a connection to the past. Presume no longer has a connection to the future. You think you could find a way back to the world as you know it by grounding her in the concrete reality of now. That doesn't necessarily mean physical objects. It could mean physical objects. But like, Reader Partizan was very tied into capitalism and profit. And that was the now, the concrete reality of now that he was tied to. He also built stuff. Right? He was the CEO of Prunar Meet Builders LLC.
Mm-hmm.
And that was also that concrete connection. Now, does that help you, like, get Tallahassee back to Sherry's car and Drabby Gabby and Aura and Naughty? No, not necessarily. That would require more creativity. But you can get them back. You can get her back to Icewolf Striker. You could complete your original mission that way.
That's true.
Hold on, we've still got more mechanics.
Um,
The moment you get to choose one from the same list, although you have the added option of taking the street.
I'm gonna mark XP.
Alright, mark XP. Now, Tallahassee offered to, or the moment offered to Scale Guardian. So, Scale Guardian, are you smitten with the moment?
yes. Well, I
moment,
was
you
spinning
can-
with Tallahassee. Does it carry over?
Sure.
Then yes.
Then you, actually, Scale Guardian, you may choose an additional option. Clear any condition, mark XP, or get +1 for it.
Me?
Yes, you.
My clear condition?
Yeah. Which one are you clearing?
I am clearing the condition frightened.
And now you are about to offer emotional support back with that last comment. So can you please roll with heart?
Sure.
You can spend a string for a +3 after you roll.
Fuck. I'm gonna. I rolled a 5.
All right. So if you roll that, do you have a string to spend?
I do have a string to spend, and I will bring that up to an 8.
All right. So then we're back in narrative because the moment has to choose whether or not to open up to you.
And if I spend a string on them, it just gives them a +1, not a +3.
That's a good question. Yeah, I think it just gets a +1.
Okay. I'll keep it, and I think I do open it. I don't think there's anything I hide because I'm just this always.
You gotta show it.
Forever.
You gotta do it.
What was the last thing you said to me to give me support?
I do not remember, to be honest with you.
And that's okay. I don't
Mm.
think it's like a. I think it's more of like you being here. I think it's like for. The moment opens up to you by kind of just putting their forehead on your forehead and
Oh.
looking at you in the eyes. So just like even this void becomes gone, and it is just in your periphery as close as possible. Nothing but the moment and you. You can't even let your mind wander.
So you opened up, and it was a 7 to 9. So the moment, you can choose one. Clear a condition, mark XP, get +1 forward, or gain insight from me about an obstacle facing one of you.
I think I'm gonna take another XP.
You take that XP. Hey Saul,
Hmm?
you just took a move that lets you learn things about people.
I did.
Do you want to use it?
I've been thinking about it. I've really been thinking about it. I have certainly been observing her. Then. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out which question to ask though. I think I know which one I want it to be. Yes, I would like to use my playbook move Mimesis. And I would like to ask, whom do you wish I was more similar to? To the moment. Though I guess it's above table.
It happens above table, but it is insight into the moment.
Who's the moment think that you should be more like?
Yeah.
I think that insight might break you as a human being, because I think the only thing that you could possibly be more like, especially to like a being that is the moment, is whatever is underneath all of reality. Whatever is the thing that drives us, whatever is the thing that like fuels whether it is like just one super consciousness that is having like an imaginary experience, but just like if you were having a relationship or some sort of interaction with the moment, and they are smitten with you, and you need to be more like somebody to them, I think it is just, how could you just be more, how could you just be everything?
Oh, God.
So, we're at 3 hours.
Yeah.
I am going to end this on. We have had 2 cute critter companion cameos purchased. One by a player and one by an audience that have not been cashed in yet. For the record, oh dear producer of mine, I was saving this tarot card for when they left the moment. So please remember this for next session, because it will still be possible and relevant.
The 12 of Wands?
The 3 of Wands.
The 3, I can't read.
Upright. Seeing the image we are going to end on as Scale Guardian looks into the moment's eyes. And I believe has just kissed the moment, peck on the cheek.
On the lips.
He's on the lips, excuse me. So you separate from that, you look the moment in the eyes, and you see the underlying structure of all reality.
Oh, God.
You feel an itching in your chest.
That's not good. Hey, that's not good.
You lift your hand to it.
Yeah.
You shove aside the yellow and orange toga to
Mhm.
reveal the bare skin of your chest.
Sure.
And there is a small magic circle glowing right above your heart. As you put your hand towards it to touch it, a new cute critter companion makes its first cameo as an expression of how Adrianne is everything. That deep association of Adrianne, mimicking the entire world in a moment, has taken the form of a cute critter companion. And Saul, I know you hate when I do things like this, but can you tell us what that companion looks like as it comes out
If
of your chest?
anything, okay, well, sorry, I know exactly what it looks like.
Perfect! I love that story.
Imagine if a worm were a little tiny horse, and it had, like, like, this is based off of a sculpture I saw the other day. It had, like, let's say 4 little legs and 4 little wings. And it's got a long little neck and a little tiny head.
I love that. It
If a worm were a
wiggles
horse
out.
with wings.
It wiggles out of your chest as this magic circle close to, but not exactly the same as where your blade comes and goes. And it wraps itself around your index finger as you hold it up. And you feel a tickling on the back of your neck as Nadi, having come from nowhere, peeks over your shoulder from behind your neck and greets this thing by name. What name does Nadi use?
Fuck. Oh, I'm so bad at names. Oh my god.
I mean, there is a suggestion in the.
There is. It's gonna be nicey. It's gonna be nicey. Thank you guys. It's gonna be nicey.
So Nadi says, "Hi, Nicey. Welcome." Now, like what? No, Well says, "Welcome back." Now, back now. Now back, and the camera just fades to black as Nadi is going through these variations of trying to get the tense right. Since Nadi doesn't understand the idea of coming back, it's not a thing that Nadi is connected to. So it's trying to express that, and it just gets quiet and goes dark. And that's where we're gonna end tonight.
Oh my lord! Oh my lord! Oh my god!
So, dear audience, this has been the antepenultimate episode of Sparkle Heart Magic Force Go. Antepenultimate is a very complicated 50-cent word that I learned when I was studying Latin poetry. It means that it is the episode before the last episode. So, in other words, there are 2 more episodes left after this one.
Me too.
We are talking about maybe doing some sort of answering audience questions or chatting about the game, debrief kind of situation on the 31st. But sadly, Cam won't be here for the 31st, so we are ending on the 24th.
I live in the moment.
You live in the moment, man. This episode has been great, y'all. I started off this episode feeling like the worst GM ever, and then ended feeling like the best GM ever. Thank you so much. We're gonna do our outros now, going in reverse order from our intros. So, Eve, tell everyone again who you are, what you're doing, where they can find you, all of that general marketing jazz that people like to do. And also, as always, as the end credits roll, we see the best scenes of the episode, best moments of the episode. So give us a star from this particular session.
Okay, well, hi, I'm Eve. You can find me over on Blue Sky at Lawless Victory. Yeah, no, because, like, when I don't post anything on TikTok. I don't post. I'm not a poster. I don't do social media. I don't like it. It's very tiring.
Okay, just because I have this kind of cheesy brain, and we're playing a game called Thirsty Sword Lesbians. If you were a poster, I could pin you to my wall.
Let's see. I totally forgot where I was at. I'm very sleepy. I guess, yeah, I don't really have anything else going on. Go check out some of my older podcasts. You got Brits on Bikes. You got Rise Near Lathotep. You got Phantom Mice. You got the Mouse Ritter campaign. I'll go ahead and steal everybody else's star so nobody else can use it. Fucking Cam up there doing the deed, doing what I wanted everyone to do. The exact thing. I legit had a private conversation with Jess about that. I was like, I would love it if everyone became an Eidolon or something. That would be so my jam. So you taking that weapon and jamming it in your chest and becoming a whole new fucking crazy ass thing? Hell yes. Hell yes. That's all I wanted.
It was so good though. And Cam, I've never seen anyone play a cosmological concept the way that you play a cosmological concept. Oh.
Oh yeah, no, you fucking crushed that shit.
So last session was Eve making me cry. This session was Cam making me cry. Speaking of Cam, please do your outro, Cam.
Hey, what's up? I'm Cam, he, him. I play the moment. Whatever. They probably use mirror pronouns. Yeah, you can find me anywhere. The Streaming Rainbow. Play a lot of TTRPGs. Doing a lot of things. My star for this session was the moment that Adrianne tried to emotionally support the concept of living in the moment.
That was great.
Oh!
Uh-oh.
My camera died.
Uh-oh.
It was so good it killed your camera.
Ah!
Well, there goes that moment.
Right. What's even better is, I don't know if this is translating into the stream, but it says EOS webcam utility, and I'm sure EOS means something in webcam land, but in Greek it's the goddess of the dawn. EOS is the goddess of the dawn.
That's me.
And fun fact, was the mother of the last person to die in the Trojan War, Memnon, the king of Ethiopia, who was Thor's granddaddy.
Oh.
So you heard it here first, y'all. Thor was black.
I'm sorry, baby.
Hell yeah.
Sorry.
Moving on. So.
Sorry, I'm making noises. I just flipped the coin and I bonked my dog on the nose.
I'm Solstice. I am playing Adrianne, or the one who takes a moment, using they, she pronouns. I use any pronouns. My star from the session. Fuck. Okay. Just one. I mean, smooching Tallahassee. The moment, my bad. The moment. Also, Nicey, hello.
Nicey is so good. Also, I love that I was like, I'm putting Saul on the spot. They're gonna hate this, and you were like, no, I know exactly what's up.
It's a sculpture I saw earlier today, and I haven't stopped thinking about it.
That's great. I love it. Juicy.
Yes, I am Juicy Garland, Boston area drag queen and super nerd. I am part of Tabletop Tailspinners, another AP network, and I am on the cast of All Our Faults, a Monster Hearts 2 actual play pod that if you love this gay chaos, you'll love that gay chaos. Yeah, and my favorite part of this episode, I think, there's so many good things, but I think just Eve's recap was just so perfect. I'm still just giggling to myself. It was amazing.
It was so good. Oh my god, there's so many good things happened that I forgot about where we started with that awesome recap. One of y'all is gonna have to try to match that next week. Jess.
Hi, I'm Jess. I'm art_fantastical. All the this session was amazing. Everyone did amazing. My face hurts because I was grinning so much and yelling behind the scenes. It was amazing. Yeah, you can find me. Everything that Eve just listed, I'm on like half of those too over on the Ballad of the Seven Dice channel. If you like weird, complicated, wild stories, that's what we've got going on over there. I'm also appearing on the Graveyard Tapes spin-off story, Queen City Supers, where we are super-powered youths at superhero trade school, and we just finished our first season, so you can catch up. And we're about to start season 2. I play a very anxious little speedster named Glider, and she's a mess. And goodness, my star for this session, besides everything, and I love Nicey. I love Nicey so much, and like I've just met Nicey, but I love them. My star, I really liked the nostalgia moment that we got, because it was very sweet and enjoyable, but also sad, like kind of sad that's when she feels like powerful and validated, was those small moments. And that was just a very interesting look into what Sunbeam's got going on, and I'm interesting to see what happens. Yeah, but amazing session.
It was so good, to that nostalgia moment of just discovering bits about Sunbeam's character that I didn't know existed before, and like just seeing the, like you said, the small bits of Sunbeam's power. Like, she was a mean girl, but she was also powerfully connected to her friends at the same time. It was a lovely way to see a character we usually see very one-sidedly as a nuanced, complicated character. And I am deeply humbled to be able to play with all of y'all, to be able to run a game for all of y'all. And that's just one example of why is how awesome Juicy is in that moment. Hi everybody! I have 19 different names. I'll try to keep this outro a little bit shorter than I usually do, because I usually ramble on forever and ever and ever, and all my players get annoyed at me, especially the ones on the East Coast. 19 different names. I give a different one every time. One of those names is Wizard Lizard. 3 different sets of pronouns. One of those pronouns is Bimbos. You can find me running Sparkle Heart Magic Force Go here on Enchanting Sorcery for the next 2 weeks. Then there will be an 8-week break. Then you can find me here running Tales of Waldron Hall, a tale of the 19th century zeitgeist, which is a side story set in the same exact universe as Sparkle Heart Magic Force Go, exploring why Tallahassee, before she was the moment, was Stampede Guardian and not Seance Guardian, or Sanguine Guardian, or Steam Guardian, or all the other things that were prevalent in the 19th century. It will have almost every one of the players you see here, and one new player replacing a mysterious and secret member of the cast for just that spin-off story. After that, you'll see season 2 of Sparkle Heart Magic Force Go. That's like way off in winter or something. It's spring. I want the heat. I don't want the cold. So you can see me also on Enchanting Sorcery running or playing in End of Love, a Dragon Age murder mystery using medieval monsters of the week, run by our very own producer, Baba Yaga, playing the GM, where I will play Madalena di Filago, the Tamed Crow. That's the Thursday nearest the full moon, whatever. I think it's the last Thursday of the month. Tune into that. I'm also playing Sarazat, a dark fantasy author, and ingenue in Way Over Her Head on the monthly show Breaking Neon of City of Mists over on Singularity Roleplay. So go check that out as well. It's third Sundays, I think. You can also hire me as a professional game master. I am currently running a kink culture centering game of Mage the Awakening and reconsidering how to run a kink culture centering game of In Nomine, the out-of-print Angel and Demon role-playing game by Steve Jackson Games. So if you want to give me money, you should go visit me over on Start Playing. You can find a link on my Career Mythopoeia, on my Linktree rather, and hire me. Give me money. Ask me to run something for you. I can run almost anything. All you got to do is ask. That's about it for the moment, I think, for me. Oh, we'll shortly be raising money for the SF Goth AIDS Walk team, raising money to fight AIDS and support Pause folk while we fight it. Because, we're still not out of the COVID epidemic, you may have realized, or pandemic. But before that, we were still in the AIDS pandemic. And AIDS has killed many people in my community, many people who are close to people, friends of mine, and I'm sure that's true as well of everyone in my group, everyone in my party here. So keep an ear out for ways that you can donate to that. And I will say there's a chance, it's not certain yet, that Enchanting Sorcery might help us in that effort. So keep an ear out to find out what's going on. My star for this session, I mean, everybody's stolen my stars for this session so far. But I think I'll say right now that my star for this session was Jess's face almost every time we said something intense, but particularly when Reader Partizan dropped that he was the holder of the zeitgeist of the 21st century. Jess was blown away, and it was amazing to see. And that's me. We have not set up a raid that I'm aware. So I think we're just gonna fade off into the moment of the internet. Did I skip Juicy? No, I didn't skip Juicy. Okay. Sorry. I got all scared. Anyway, we are done. See you next week. Thank you for hanging out with us.